Girls, remember we had all stations to central? All of them are positive in quadrant 1 and only cos is positive in quadrant 4. Look at your graph. Oh, what's the cos of 0 on your calculator? Just do it. 1. Cos of 90. Cos of 180. Cos of 270. And cos of 360. 1. So yes, another roller coaster, but we're starting at the top. How do you know? You get a calculator and you put cos 0 if you're not sure. Or you say, no, she taught us sine first. That's the one that starts in the middle. Okay? So cos, you start at the top. You go down, up, down. Now, does this fit in with all stations to central? Quadrant 1, yes, cos is positive. Look at quadrant 2. Cos is negative. Quadrant 3, cos is negative. Quadrant 4, cos is positive again. All right, so it fits in with all stations to central. You'll notice I've only got about 8 or 9 values in this table and they keep repeating. Look, but this time 0.98 positive there, it's negative here, it's negative there, it's positive there for each quadrant. Again, the angles are all related. All right, so what's the maximum value? It's 1. Oh, so wait a sec. So when you draw cos theta, this is what you do. You start at the top, you come down, you go back up. That's 1 period. And the 1 period takes 360. So halfway is 180. And then the quarters would be 90 and 270. And it goes between 1 and -1. So that's what you need to know as soon as we're talking about the graph of cos theta, that you start at the top of the roller coaster, you go down, up. It goes from 1 to 1. Halfway is there and the quarters are there. Look, positive, negative, negative, positive. All stations to central. All right? Good. Now, so maximum value is 1, minimum value is -1. You can see where they occur. Minimum value is -1. Cos theta is 0 for which values? Yep, and we'll keep going. And it's 1, 4, 0, and 360 in a, from 0 to 360. And it's -1 when theta is 180 degrees. Again, cos theta is positive in quadrants 1 and 4, and it's negative in 2 and 3, and that fits in with all stations to central. Okay? Now, again, use your table. So, cos theta is 1/2 for which 2 values? Yeah, 60 and 300. And look, you know how it's 60, and then so this is what I do. When you want to do questions like this, and we're learning how now to solve equations, so when you come to do them, because we're doing all this, you're going to find it not so difficult. But we know that cos 60 is 1/2. So you know how it's 60? But I know that cos is positive in quadrants 1 and 4. So I put my 60 in 1 and I put my 60 in 4. So this is visually learning how to solve. We're going to solve without the visuals. Well, with visuals, but without the graphs next lesson or the lesson after. So cos 60 I know is 1/2. Cos 300 is also 1/2, but it happens to be cos of 360 minus 60. Sorry, girls, I didn't record that, but I'll explain it on the next page. So cos 60 is 1/2. You can just look at your graph. All right. Cos of 300 is also 1/2 from your graph. But we notice that it's in quadrant 4, when you're doing 300, you're going 90, 180, 270, 300 would be there, but we're short 60. But cos of 300 is 1/2. It actually happens to be the same as cos 60. All right, cos of 120. There's your 120, but we're interested in the acute angle, which is 60. But because we're in quadrant 2, we know that cos is going to be negative, so it's the same as negative cos 60. And in quadrant 3, 240, we're interested in the acute angle in that quadrant, which is 60. We know that cos is negative in quadrant 3, so it's the same as negative cos 60. Here's the cos curve. There's 0, 360. It repeats again. It's a periodic function. Repeats every 360. And you can go back for negative angles as well, which we'll discuss, in another lesson. So the graph of cos theta repeats every 360 degrees. It's got a period of 360. All right, where's it symmetrical? If I fold it here, does that sit on that and that sits on that? Yeah, so what sort of symmetry is that? It's called line symmetry about the y-axis. It's got line symmetry about, and the other one's got point symmetry. Okay, now again, just putting these values in. Cos of 0 is 1. Then we've got 0, -1, 0, and 1. All right, now what we're going to do, we know that in quadrant 1, cos is positive. So from 0, anything bigger than 0 up to 90, all positive values. Now, in quadrant 2, let's go. Here's 100. I'm not interested in the 100. I'm interested in the little bit that touches the x-axis, which is 80. It'll be negative cos 80. Why is it negative? Because cos is negative in quadrant 2. So when we talk about cos 100, I'm not interested in the obtuse angle. Give me the related acute angle. So you draw 100 from here, and then you say, yep, I've got 80 left. But we know that cos is negative in quadrant 2, so it's negative cos 80. Do we get this? Cos of 140, I'm just going to do the first column, you do the others. 140, you draw it from here. See how I always start from there? If that's 140, what's left over? What's the related acute angle? 40. But we know that cos of 140 is negative, so it's the same as negative cos 40. If you look at your graph, 140 is that, cos 40 is that. So negative 0.77 is negative of that. Do you see it? Quadrant 3, cos is negative. So where's 190? 90, 180, 190. What's the little angle in there? If that's 190, 10, 10. No, it's the one touching the x-axis. Look at 230, 90, 180, 230. What's the little angle in there? 50. So because cos of 190 is negative, we're quadrant 3, it'll be the same as negative cos 10. Look at your values. Cos of 190 is negative 0.98, cos of 10 is 0.98. So cos of 190 is negative cos 10. Negative of whatever cos 10 is. Cos of 230, see, because the 230 is 180 plus 50. It's the same as negative cos 50. Do you get what I'm doing? Be careful with these ones. Cos of 280. Where's 280? 90, 180, 270. 280's there. The butterfly, I'm interested in this angle. What's the angle? 80. But cos is positive in quadrant 4. So it's just the same as cos 80, not negative cos 80. Cos of 330. If you go 330 around, what's the little angle left over touching the x-axis? 30. So cos of 330 is the same as cos 30. Do we get it? Finish them off. As soon as you hit quadrants 2 and 3, cos is going to be negative. And these are quadrant 2 angles. Anything between 90 and 180 is quadrant 2. How do you know? You draw your little thing like this. And you go 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Okay? So 110, so you can finish these off. 110's like that. It's quadrant 2, so it's got to be negative of the cos 70, etc. So finish them off. I'll set you some homework. Answers there, and the diagrams are drawn as well. Okay?